It was nearly 11 at night, and I struggled to keep my eyes open as much as I struggled to push away my irritation. I was home from college, and my parents hadn't bothered to pick me up from the airport, so I had to take a bus all the way back home, and now I was walking home alone, in the dark, with my suitcase, in Newbury. I hadn't expected them to drive me everywhere during my winter break. I knew how to get around all right on my own, but I hadn't seen them in 3 months, and it was dangerous to walk around at night in Newbury. I had hoped, at least, they would pick me up tonight, but they hadn't bothered to answer my texts or my phone calls. It's fine, I muttered as I lifted my suitcase over a large puddle on the sidewalk. It's not like I haven't walked around Newbury before. I had grown up here, after all, but this town was dangerous. The demon biker gang was still alive and well, kidnapping women for their brothels and recruiting men for their drug mills. I had 2 former classmates from high school who had been captured by them. Only one of them had escaped alive. Another group had tried to drive them out a while back and had even scattered them for a while, but the demons were always around. They were basically rats, impossible to get rid of. I sighed and looked up at the night sky. At least it was gorgeous tonight, with stars and the moon shining bright. I smiled. I had always loved looking at the night sky, even on cold nights like this one. It was so pretty. Footsteps behind me startled me to alertness. I turned to see a man walking behind me. Terror gripped me as I started to walk faster. He picked up his pace as well. I turned a corner, and so did he. That was never a good sign. Then I started to run. I glanced behind me to see him running too. I shrieked and dropped my suitcase, trying to sprint faster. Maybe he would settle for my suitcase and leave me be. But he was still following me. He was catching up to me. I could see him illuminated in the streetlight, a sneer on his face. The demon insignia was plainly visible on his jacket. I tripped on a rock and fell to the ground, scraping my hands and elbows. A scream escaped my lips. I struggled to my feet just as my kidnapper was inches away. Just before he could reach me, a motorcycle roared out of nowhere. It pulled up on the sidewalk between me and the man. The biker's head was covered in a helmet, so I couldn't see him at all. But it was clear his attention was focused on the man. He pulled out a gun and pointed it at the man. I flinched, expecting a gunshot. But there wasn't any. I heard running footsteps and knew my would-be kidnapper was running away. I should run too. But I was rooted to the spot. I was so close. The stranger could reach out and grab me if he wanted to, and there wouldn't be anything I could do about it. Finally, the biker put the gun away and turned to me. It was only then that I managed to back up a couple of steps. "What the hell are you doing? Run!" But it wouldn't have mattered if I ran or not. He would find me. The biker inclined his head, as if he was looking me up and down. "Are you okay?" he asked. I nodded numbly, looking him over, looking for any sort of insignia on his clothes, wondering if I had just been kidnapped by another demon biker, maybe one who outranked the one on foot, or he was from the rival gang. I didn't know much about them because I had already gone to college out of state when they moved into town. For all I knew, they were just as bad as the demons. I tried to take another step back and stumbled back instead. Why wouldn't my legs work properly? "No, don't run. It's okay. I'm not here to hurt you." He took off his helmet, revealing a handsome face underneath. He looked older, possibly 40 years old, but he was sexy.